Well, hello YouTube. This is my third video. Still not sure where we're going with this, but we're gonna talk. It's really just talking about my life, kind of like a testimony. In the first video, we kind of learned about how I got injured. Second video, kind of learned about how my ex-wife is alienating my children from me, and that I'm dealing with a case of laryngitis, so please do excuse my voice. Hopefully sooner than later I'll have my voice back and I can do a little bit more of a video. You noticed that, did you? Sorry about that. So, my name is Max Spearhead. I've had a wonderful life, but I've dealt with a lot of bullcrap. The last few years I've been dealing with an ex-wife alienating my daughter and now alienating my son from me. It sucks, but I'm dealing with it. I don't know how my children are really dealing with it. I know that I'm going to have to get them therapy, but that'll all come when it happens. Why don't we go back to when I met the ex-wife? So I met the ex-wife in 2004. I actually moved to Ohio from Michigan. Was going through a divorce at the time. My first ex-wife was cheating on me, and we can talk about that story another time. You just have to ask me about it. So my second ex-wife, we met in 2004 at a little store in Ohio. Excuse me. Really, I was going through a divorce and I wasn't really looking to get involved with anyone. And at the same time, I kind of was looking to get involved with somebody. Kind of rushing myself so I wasn't boo-hooing about the ex-wife, is what I've come to realize the more and more time I've spent thinking about this. So, I know there was a couple of girls that I kind of was chasing there at the store. And there was some girls chasing me at that store. And somehow my ex and I ended up together. I didn't want to be alone. I wanted somebody to care for and love. And I wanted somebody to care for and love me. Thought I had that We spent getting to know each other from, I'd say right around July, August of 2004. And sometime, I think even before 2005, my ex-wife had me moved into her parents' house out of my sister's basement because I felt my sister was charging me too much rent, which was ridiculous, but I got it in my head that I shouldn't have been paying any rent really, and blah, blah, blah. My sister was charging me $175 to sleep in her basement. Yeah. My mistake right there, number one. I moved out of my sister's basement and into the clutches of my ex-wife and her family. Really thought my ex-wife was a great woman. Thought her family was great. Then you get away from them and you start realizing certain things aren't right. The ex's grandma on the father's side was a little strange. The ex told me how controlling she was and everything else, and excuse me, sorry. And so yeah, she told me stories, and her dad told me stories, and her mom told me stories of how this woman was just mean and evil and blah, blah, blah. And I sit here right this second and it's like, are they talking about my ex-wife? It's like she's became this conniving, manipulative, has to have it her way or no way kind of woman, and I didn't realize that that's how she was the whole time. But it took me getting away from the situation to actually see the situation. So yeah, we met in 2004, lived together, I want to say by the end of 2004. If not, it was early 2005. I got divorced from my first ex-wife June or July of 2004. That's my first ex-wife. Now my second ex-wife actually drove me up to Michigan because I lost my license due to situation with the first ex-wife. Remind me to talk about that. Hey, I'm an open book, remember that. So any questions you have, I'm willing to tell stories. And they're not lies. These are true stories of what have happened. So the ex-wife took me up to get the divorce from the first ex-wife. We weren't married at the time. We were just friends. And so she took me up there, and we ended up, I got the divorce and everything, and ended up, she surprised me, and I had a real special dog that was at my sister's house. His name was Zeus. And she surprised me. She got a hold of her mom, and she ended up bringing Zeus home with us. I had been away from Zeus probably for about a year. I don't know that we got him the first time. I can't remember specifically if it was the first trip or if it was the second trip. I think she saw him the first time, and then the second trip we took up there, she surprised me and we brought him back. But that was a huge surprise. And don't get me wrong, this woman was very loving and kind and everything. I fell for this woman. I loved this woman. So, first thing that I go back to now that I look back is when we first met, I used to ride my bike everywhere. I was riding at least 5 miles a day. We started seeing each other, and she was, why don't I come give you a ride to work? Why don't I do this ride and that ride? And she just didn't want me riding my bike. She was worried for me. And so I understood, but I didn't understand. But I went ahead and I started getting rides from her. Still, every once in a while I would ride my bike, but barely ever, because she did not want me riding my bike. It wasn't safe. She was worried about me. Okay, I can see it, but whatever. I look back and I see it as she was overbearing right there. And there was no reason to stop me from riding my bike. But that's my fault. I'm not going to blame her for that. I can only blame myself. So then we go on, and we still seeing each other. I wanted to get engaged on April Fool's Day of 2005. That was the day that I had chosen. And honestly, what happened was her sister-in-law announced that they were pregnant. And it was like March 23rd or 26th or something like that. And watch it be March 24th. Whatever. So her sister-in-law announced it, and so she was really upset because she wasn't the center of attention. And I ended up right there in her parents' living room going ahead and getting all fidgety and everything, and I asked her to marry me right then and there instead of waiting until April 1st like I had planned. Just is what it is, but it was just signs of what yet was to come. So next thing is really couldn't be going over to my sister Connie's house no more. She was allergic to the dog and the birds because she had allergies. And then anytime this woman would have an asthma attack, she would end up getting rushed to the hospital. And because I never knew what an asthma attack really was about, I would rush to the hospital for her too, because I was paranoid. I was scared. What was going on? I don't want to lose her. I was falling in love. So, no longer could go to my one sister's. And then all of a sudden, she didn't feel comfortable going to my other sister's in Michigan. So we stopped going there and we started staying at my other sister's house that was been cleaned and everything was ready for sale. We stayed at her house. Oh, I don't feel comfortable. So we stayed in a hotel. Oh, this is costing us money. I give up. I give up. And so that was the end of going to Michigan and seeing my family. I want to say the last time we had went to Michigan, and we did get married. We got married in 2006, October of 2006. And then we had a little one in September of 2007. And little apple of my eye, beautiful. Oh my goodness, I'm getting the chills just talking about her. Love my girl. So yeah, we had our baby girl. Somewhere along the line, and I do apologize to her because I suck with memory. Somewhere along the line, she lost a little one. She had a miscarriage. And we ended up getting pregnant again. And we had a son in the early summer of 2010. So we had one fall of 2007, then summer of 2010, and then we would have had one in between. So I was blessed, and I didn't see it though. We stopped going to Michigan. I wanted to say last time we went to Michigan was 2010. And it may have been 2012. We ended up getting divorced in 2015. But honestly, the marriage was over before then, and it was my fault because I was working so much, because I thought work, I could get us ahead. And she wanted to work. She was working, but she wanted to get further ahead, and I was blinded by work. So I'll give my blame, but there's blame on her side too. She chose to ask for the divorce, and she ended up getting what she wanted. So, no turning back for me. I did not want the divorce. I would have stayed married just so the children wouldn't have to be with two separate houses and what they're going through right now. Her hating me so much for moving on and having another little one. And now she's decided to alienate both children from me. So, I don't know. I'm going through some depression because of it. Been fighting it really hard. But along with the back injury, her and I got divorced in 2015. I lost my mother in 2015, January 2015. I lost my real dad, who I was just getting to know in 2016. And then 2017, I lost my stepdad, who was my father from the age of 8 years old. Lost him. And then 2018, the end of 2018, I get freaking injured. So, I mean, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I've had at least 6 horrible years, but within those horrible years, I've had some such blessings. I mean, getting hired on at Costco is such an experience, and such a blessing. Just so many blessings during that time. But I see I'm over 20 minutes, and I don't want to hold y'all up. Maybe once I get past my 100th video and start making my exciting videos or whatever. I've been told that all our videos up till 100th video are crap. But then again, this is all about real life, so I'm hoping it'll catch on and help my family out and be able to help others out. I have a little food pantry in my backyard called the Shepherd's Pantry. You can find it on Facebook, and I can't believe I'm advertising it, but Shepherd's Pantry, it's SHEPARD, and then pantry. It's just a little pantry in my backyard, feeding the homeless, helping the lower income people that are having a hard time making their bills at the end of the month. And then children that are out of school now and don't get those lunches and just want those snacks. So I've got snacks out there for them. It's a nice little pantry, and I need support for it. So go check it out, please. God bless y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for checking out my videos. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Hit me up in the comments. God bless.